Welcome back to Sport Card Analysis. I'm JT with another case break simulation. I do 200 case break simulations to give you the ROI information you need by team for your breaks. Today we got National Treasures 2023 baseball. This is a high-end product, super high-end, so serious buyers, mostly breaking. So this is the perfect video for you because I'm going to break this down and tell you exactly what you should do. But a real quick disclaimer, I don't ask you for anything if you use my videos to get hits, to make money, to sell things, whatever. I just don't expect you, I hope that you wouldn't blame me if you don't get a hit, because these are just, law of averages, really. This, a case of this, 4 boxes per case, is listed on Steel City for $2,600, Canadian 35.10. I took the Canadian out of the tables for the baseball products, but we'll put them back in for each of the hockey products. I do want to thank all the Canadian viewers. I get a ton. I looked at my stats. I get a lot. So in 2023 National Treasures baseball, what should we expect for the distribution of each type of card? Well, we have the base set is basically all memorabilia, and there's a couple. Then there's autographs, obviously, and there's a couple sets of insert cards. I'm calling them. So I'm calling them inserts, but they might not even be inserts. They're just low numbered kind of acetate style cards. So let's break it down by card type, and then we'll look at the entire product. So if you want to pay for a team based on the probability that you'll hit an autograph, and you don't want to worry about the value of the players and the value of the team and things like that, you just want to pay for the probability that you'll get a hit. Well, the highest probability of hitting an autograph is the Boston Red Sox, and I would pay, at that rate, I would pay $157 if what we're doing here is distributing the cost of the probability equally for every card. So since the Red Sox have 4,414 autographs in this product, they get the highest price. That just assumes that all $2,600 of the case price is distributed equally. So we're talking cents per card across all the cards. And then we just add them up and tell you what the fair share is. So the fair share of autograph prices are here. This is teams 1 through 10. So again, if you want to pay for the probability of getting an autograph, you look here. I don't include the price for the memorabilia and autograph, but I do for the total. So let's just go through the first couple pages here. There's 1 through 10, just based on the probability of hitting, just the frequency of autographs. You got a couple teams here. Make sure you read the words, because sometimes the logos don't work. I'm not sure why. Indians are the Guardians now, so I'm pretty sure that's why that didn't work. There you go. And then there's through 30. And then for the multi-team cards, I don't price them out, but that's later in the simulation. There's very few of them. So, I mean, if you're looking for, these are going to be randoms in most cases. All right. So then there's, if you want to collect memorabilia cards, because this has a lot of great ones. And now I've thrown the booklet cards. There's 1 booklet per box. So you're going to get 4 per case. I watched a few of the first off the line videos, and it looks like there's 2 auto books and 2 memorabilia books per case on average. There's a give or take there. But if you're collecting memorabilia, so the books are included in these metrics here and not on their own. So if you want memorabilia, the Yankees have the most. And I'm telling you, the Yankees, I mean, they have like Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, just an insane checklist for the Yankees. And then in this order for memorabilia. So there's the top 10. But let's look at the total cards. So total cards per team, if you want to, instead of considering walking away from a break or ending a break with the most autographs, what if you wanted to pay for the probability that you'll walk away from a break with the highest stack of cards, the most cards, period? Memorabilia, insert, auto. Well, that's still the Red Sox, but you could pay a little higher price. So I'd say if you use my price here for the autos, 157 and 167, stay somewhere in between those numbers. Same thing here with the Rangers. This one's actually lower than the autograph probability. So, there's a lot of difference here. But if you keep your kind of buy-in, that's specifically if you're buying probability. And I've used this. I bought the Blue Jays in a gold label break. I hit the first case I even signed up for because the probability was just the highest it is. It's just likely that you'll hit. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to hit every time, but these are fair prices. This is what I call like market value for probability. But that doesn't mean that we're considering the strength of the player on the card. And that's really where, ROI comes in. And so I've developed this algorithm so that I can, basically I assign a price to every single card in the checklist. What is the value of it? That includes things like how rare the card is, if it's an autograph, memorabilia, insert, base, whatever. the serial number, the print run, and even how 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 fancy, I guess, how high end the product is. So Topps Base is not going to be as valuable as National Treasures, but National Treasures isn't going to be as high as Transcendent. There's no logos, people don't buy them as high. So I do consider a lot of this stuff. I price every single card, and then I assign values to the players 1 through 5. 1 being players that typically don't sell, 2 being you sell them but at a loss. Mostly guys who sell to team collectors, and then 5 being high profit ROI guys, the Shohei Ohtanis, the Mike Trouts. So then I break it down. I do 200 case break simulations, which is another algorithm I've built based on the hobby box configuration, the case configuration, what are the case hits, how is everything, pack odds and stuff like that. And then I add up and average out a lot of these ROIs. But based on that, I want to at least show you what the strength of this product is. Panini this year does not have the MLBPA license, so it'll be all rookies and minor leaguers, kind of up and comers as they're calling them, and retired players, Hall of Famers mostly, but a lot of retired players. So there's no veterans, no current active veterans in this product, maybe excluding a few, I'm not sure. I didn't look at every player in the checklist. But here's the distribution. So of this scale here, there's really not a ton of the high profit ROI guys. Now there are there's Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio. There's some good guys in here, but by and large the 3, 4 kind of categories where this product lives, and there's a lot of 2s, but I would kind of say that you'll probably make a profit on cards you sell from this product, but there's a risk. You're taking a risk because there are plenty of guys who might not ever be heard from again. That happens. And so overall, the autograph checklist strength is 3.1 out of 5, and the total product strength is 2.8. Again, that's because there's a lot of low name guys who might not make it or might make it, and maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe in 10 years this product will be considered a 5 out of 5, one of the best of all time. Who knows? But let's talk about, when I run the simulation, I run 200 case breaks, and then I add up all of the ROI, again, I assign a value to every card. I add it up and then I divide it by 200. The next table I'm going to show you is not divided by 200. It's actually divided by the number of cases it hits in. So we'll talk about that. But I also assign a product strength, and a product strength basically means how strong is the checklist, and how frequently are those players included. So what's the print run and things like that. So a super strong checklist of a team with very few cards, like all 1-of-1s, that would not get it full product strength. You want the most teams, or you want the most cards for a team with the highest print runs. Now I know that doesn't mean that you're going to get high ROI. That's why I do the ROI, because hitting a bunch of cards out of 99 is not as good as hitting a bunch of 1-of-1s. But I'm just telling you what the checklist strength is. Are they including players that are good? Are they including desirable players and things like that? And then what is it when you break it down by card type? Autograph, memorabilia, insert. So that's what this full product strength really represents. And the best team in here is the Yankees. Again, they have a lot of great players. But when we really run the simulation and we get the cards that we actually wind up hitting, the Reds have the highest ROI over 200 cases. We're talking higher than what I recommended you pay. So that means that if let's look at what the Reds might have cost here. I was saying that if you wanted to pay for the probability of autographs, pay $90 for the Reds, or 103 for the total number of cards. But I'm saying here that your ROI in 200 cases is actually really high. Decent product strength. Memorabilia is a 3. That's great. 6. They probably Ellie, De La Cruz, and a few other. I don't know who else is in this. Barry Larkin has a bat knob in this set. But then the Yankees at 143. Now I will say that when the Yankees hit, they hit crazy good. But a lot of them are memorabilia because they're players who have passed. Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. So that's kind of why the memorabilia is a 1, but the autograph's a 9. So the ROI is a lot lower. That's what you can consider there. So ROI over 200 cases. Let's look at that in order. There's 1 through 10, 11 through 20. 21 through 30, and then we start getting into those doubles, which I don't price. I don't price those out. Now let's look at when they hit and how often they hit in these cases. So that was out of 200 cases, but this table is out of the actual cases that they hit. Interesting enough, the Reds actually hit more than half the time for autographs, and so do the Yankees. That doesn't mean that you're getting top notch players, but look at the ROI there, $1,200 for the Reds and 1,200 or almost 1,128 for the Yankees, and they both hit out of 200 cases over half the time. That's like really good. Those are really, really good odds with that high ROI. So like I said, when the Yankees hit, when you do hit, you hit pretty good. You get a lot of value there. Now, this is probably being caused by some cut auto or maybe some, Aaron Judge 1/1 or something. But then we look at, the Mariners, there's a huge drop off there, and they hit in 69 cases. So that's how you read this table. We're going to just go through a few pages. You read this basically saying, here's the team. The Seattle Mariners autograph, that's the hit type, autograph memorabilia or insert, hits in this many cases, and when it hits, that's the ROI I should expect. So when you hit the Mariners, on average, you get about a $690 return. Does that mean you're going to get that out of every case? Hell no. But what it does mean is that there's really good stuff in here. So there you go. There's 1 through 10. There's 11 through 20. We'll just go through a bunch of pages here. Page 3. And now I'm going to get that highlight off of there. See, we're talking like Nationals autographs hit in 152 cases out of 200. That's 3/4 of the time. Every 4 cases, 3 cases have a Nationals autograph. But the ROI is just not that great. There you go. And some of that National stuff is the Expos. I did combine those teams. So there's page 6 and page 7. Now we're getting to these inserts, which there's very few of them. But they're low serial numbers and things like that. So that might not be true, this ROI for those inserts, but it's probably pretty accurate. But they are pretty rare if you look at how many cases they hit. So that is the frequency of times that each of these types of things hit. Very valuable table there with the ROI. Now, what about sets? We talk about hitting a different set. When you get this, is it actually rare? Well, obviously the printing plates are all going to be very rare. But what about non-printing plates? We talk like Field Pass Signatures Platinum, only hit in 1 case. So number of cases hit out of 200, only hit once, and this is rounded down, so that's why it's 0. Hall of Fame Material Signatures Printing Plate Black. A lot of printing plates in here for the one how like they hit very infrequently. But like Rookie Material Signature Brand Logo, that's pretty good. That checklist must be really good. It hit in 4 cases, and they were all really high value there. So these are the sets, how frequently they hit, and what kind of the ROI should be on those. So when you go to price your stuff on eBay, kind of what kind of rarity you're looking at here. Is your card super duper rare? Is it a 1/1? Is it a whatever? And remember, printing plates are basically out of 4. No matter how often they tell you they're 1/1s, they're basically out of 4. Okay, so the Clutch Factor Signatures, not bad, 14 cases, and we're getting into some sets that appear more frequently now. But remember, this product is very high end. A lot of low print runs. So a lot of this stuff is just all these case hits are gonna be pretty low. Okay, so let's look at the. I forgot to take this out from the last video. There's nothing here. I'm not gonna rank the prospects in this product. So number of cards by player. So let's look at who has the most autographs in this set. James Wood has the most autographs, 1,287. Just under him, Evan Carter. Then the first kind of name, I recognize Evan Carter, but I recognize all these. But this guy, good quality player who actually played in the major leagues all year, Masataka Yoshida. He's got 1,190. Then Ellie. So there's a decent amount of good players in here that have a lot. Jackson Holiday, man, that guy signed a lot of cards this year. He's got 1,068. So let's just go and look at who has the most autographs. That's page 1. That's page 2. Jace Jung. Oh, that's different. Wonder if he's related to Josh. Probably. So there you go. There's page 2. There's page 3. Take screenshots. Use this when you're buying in. This tells you kind of who has the most autographs. There's hundreds and hundreds of autographs in here. All right, that's probably good for that. So cards by team. Here's your 1 through 10. We kind of already went through this on the ROI, but we'll just fly through it. Whoops. And then you can just, look at this. This thing is insane. It's like 24 players on it. That's a lot. Okay. So that's cards by team. Now by print run, if you're chasing 1/1s, guess what? There's 3,295. I think that might be the most I've ever seen in a product. 3,295 1/1s. This is what's crazy about one of ones is everyone acts like they're like so rare. And yeah, sure, you get that one card, but there are so many one of ones out there. So keep that in mind when you're going through this. You know, there's serial numbers really low here. I think, like, what's the highest one? 150 is the highest print run in this set. So that's that. Now, cards out of 1, if you are chasing those, which team should you buy? Red Sox, Yankees, Rangers, Orioles, in that order. There's the top 10. I'm not even going to go through other pages of that. So for my simulation, my 200 case, let's just look at some of the results. If you do break one case, are you going to get a 1 of 1 in every case? It's possible you won't. I've seen a lot of cases where they were hitting printing plates, but I've also seen at least a few where you didn't hit a 1 of 1, and in this case, there were no 1 of 1s in case number 200 out of my 200 case break simulations. But let's just look at like what you can expect. What's the quality of the hits? You know, you got this Albert Pujols autograph. That's very nice. NT Materials Signature Hollow Silver. That's really nice. Max Muncy, James Wood there. Christian Hernandez for the Cubs. These are some good names. Javi Lopez, another Christian Hernandez. So here's the print runs here. Here's the type of card. You know, Eddie Murray insert. That's interesting. So there you go. That's kind of like the quality you can expect. We can even just show page 2. There we go. A lot of autographs, 20-something autographs per case. 20 or 21 I'm seeing on average per case. So there's Will Clark. Got some good names in here, but there's a lot of guys who aren't going to give you much value. All right, so then now that's just one case. Now all 200, let's look at what 1 of 1s we got for all 200. Let's look at how many we got. 191. So actually there was only 9 cases where there wasn't a 1 of 1, and case 200 was one of them. So there's typically you're going to get a 1 of 1 in almost every case. So there you go. That's I mean, you just look at this list and say, okay, there's good ones and bad ones. Let's move on. Now, ROI per team for the first 20 cases. I don't want to just tell you that the Red Sox always give a high ROI or the Reds always give a high ROI. Let's actually look at a case-by-case basis, literally, and look at how those things change. You know, in the first case, we got the Orioles, Yankees, Brewers, you know, some good teams in there. But then in the very next case, which actually it's out of order, this is case number 10, then the Reds are actually the highest. The Brewers are still pretty good, but then the Cardinals are higher, and all those other teams are lower. So it changes, and you can see that National Treasures does a good job at distributing the ROI across the cases pretty well. So if you're trying to predict which team to get, obviously you want to get the one that has the highest probability, but you don't want to just guarantee yourself that you're going to hit, you know, something in every case. This distribution is excellent. I like to see this because that kind of gives a fair shot to all the teams. Now, obviously, the Reds, they seem to be killing it in this product. That's pretty interesting. I actually am wondering, I know you guys are probably like, don't do that. I'm trying to pay attention. Let me see which players are actually in the Reds, which are causing that. Where is that table at? I think I passed it. Here we go. So let's look at the Reds. So Ellie, we got a couple. Pete Rose, that's pretty good. Barry Larkin, Griffey's in there. Yep, Griffey's. I think Griffey has Reds and Mariners stuff. Sparky Anderson. So there's some pretty good stuff in there. Johnny Bench, Joe Morgan. Okay, so that tells you why their ROI is so high. So let's just keep going here. So that's the distribution. I actually think this product is well balanced. Let's say use the term well balanced, kind of like a beer would be made. You know, is this a well balanced drink? This is a well balanced product. It kind of distributes the ROI across the teams pretty well, other than the Reds. Really, the Reds look good, and the Yankees with the memorabilia. So for the 200 case break simulation, which teams did I get the most of? Well, this looks exactly like the distribution of cards in the total cards. So we'll just go through that. There's the first 20. What about print runs? Did I get any 1 of 1s? Yeah, I got a ton, 191 of them. Got the most Red Sox, then Yankees, Pirates, Cardinals, Braves. We'll keep going there. So use that information how you want. If you want to use that to make your purchases, like you're chasing 1 of 1s, go for it. Screenshot it, you know, take it with you when you make your purchases. And then we look at the breakdown in the 200 case breaks. Remember, this is not the master checklist, this is 200 cases. What are the breakdowns of autograph, inserts, and memorabilia? Well, here's the ranking of autographs I got. And let me actually pull this up so you can see them all. That goes down to there, okay? And then we'll go to page 2 just to see what's on there. Yep, there we go, in that order. Now let's look at memorabilia. Okay, Red Sox, Yankees, Cardinals, that's the order that we got in 200 cases. That's it. Take your screenshots. Use this stuff to make your purchases. I appreciate all the viewers. Thanks for watching Sports Cards Analysis. Hit subscribe, like the video, make a comment, do whatever the YouTubers tell you to normally do. And please, that's it. Thanks for watching. Good luck in your breaks.